In Renku, you connect data to your project. This means that the data you connect to Renku stays in its source system and is only temporarily copied into your Renku session as you use it. Data is not stored in Renku itself. This video will focus on working with private data in Renku. For the basics on how to connect data to your Renku project, see our video How to Connect Data to Your Project. Renku does not control or change who can access your data. When you connect private data to Renku, Renku will ask you for credentials. You have the option to save those credentials in Renku for easy access. However, these credentials are never shared with other Renku users. When another Renku user launches a session that uses a data connector that requires credentials, Renku will ask that user for their credentials. If the user provides valid credentials, the data will be connected to the session. If the user does not have access to the data, the session will launch without that data connector. This means that connecting your data to Renku does not change who can access it. You will always manage access rights to the data in the system where the data is stored. For example, if you connect an S3 bucket to Renku, you'll continue to manage the access rights to the bucket in the S3 provider. If a collaborator needs access to a password-protected data connector in Renku, share credentials with that collaborator safely outside of Renku. You may notice that in Renku, you can choose whether your data connector has public or private visibility. The data connector visibility simply determines who can see that the data connector exists. This setting has no effect on who can access the data itself. This is because being able to see a data connector is not the same as being able to access the data itself. For example, a data connector may be public, which means other users on Renku Lab can see that the data connector exists, while also being protected with credentials, which means that only people with valid credentials can access the data. For more information about data connector permissions and visibility, see our documentation linked in the description of this video.